Hi and welcome to this video blog. It's number 8, and so we're staring down the barrel of double figures, and these video blogs are really meant to hopefully add some value to you, to your leadership, to your life. It's where I normally share around one major thought and a few thoughts around about that, and hopefully it helps. Love your feedback. If it helps or it doesn't help or you've got some suggestions, feel free to bring that to me. Today's thought is that self-awareness is relational gold and also operational gold. Self-awareness, that ability to know yourself well, is so valuable in life and in leadership. There's a lot being written about self-awareness under the banner generally of emotional intelligence. Self-awareness is the central plank of that whole genre of emotional intelligence. Other things like motivation, empathy are in there as well, but self-awareness seems to be that center point of all of that. And it's not hard to define. It's the awareness of yourself, of who you are. It's who you are, your strengths, your weaknesses. It's how you function in certain circumstances, how you respond to certain situations, how you're seen by others, how you communicate, what your humor is like, what are the trigger points in your life, what are the things that set you off. That's all part of this self-awareness. It sounds simple, but both in your own life and in the life of others, it's never quite as common as you'd like it to be. My experience has been when there is the presence of self-awareness in a group of people, in a team, then planning gets done much more smoothly. Then communication is easier. Then things happen in a more collaborative way. But when there's the absence of self-awareness, then very often it's clunky and you find yourself stepping on other people's toes or tiptoeing around others so you won't, offend them, or you find yourself just not as effective as you'd like to be, where the presence of self-awareness helps you be more effective. It's that important thing. You know it, you've seen it. It's the person who maybe is the first to volunteer for the choir, but they can't hold a note, and everyone else knows it, but they don't. It's the person who volunteers to be the scribe of a group of people, but they're not great at detail or follow through, so they won't do the best job. It's the guy who thinks he's the life of the party, but when you see him at the party, the things that he does are just cringeworthy and make you embarrassed for him. It's that. And yet, before we get too critical or too judgmental, let's understand that we all have shortcomings. We all have blind spots that other people see in us, but we don't see ourselves. In leadership, self-awareness is crucial. It's, as a leader of a group or an organization or a church or a business, your aim as the leader should be to be the most self-aware person in the whole organization, because that helps trust, it helps confidence, it helps planning, it helps people sort of breathe out and go, oh, we trust that person. We know he's going to be fairly aware of what's going on. Self-awareness is crucial. It is a bit of a superpower and important for us in ministry, leadership, relationally and operationally. So that's important. How do you get it? It's easier said than done. It's more of an art than a science. So you don't go somewhere and get a degree in self-awareness. But there are a few ways that I think can be helpful for us. Let me give you a couple. I think it's good to read more about it. Daniel Goleman is the guy who's sort of written the seminal work on emotional intelligence, and he covers a lot of self-awareness in that. There's also a great little book on the 10 best reads, the 10 must-reads of the Harvard Business Review on emotional intelligence. Just read more of it. Just reading more about it helps you understand it, helps you understand yourself a bit more. I think intentional reflection is important. So if you can each day, ideally, but certainly regularly, if you can reflect on the decisions you've made or the interactions you've had that day or that few days or that week, or the choices you've made or the emotions you've felt when you've made that choices, if you can intentionally, instead of getting from one task to the next, if you can intentionally take some time out, breathe out a little bit and reflect on how you felt or how you came across, that can be really helpful in terms of developing self-awareness. And of course, the other way is just honest feedback. really honest feedback from people who you trust and are around you. And particularly if it's given graciously and lovingly and caringly, that feedback can be just tremendous in helping you understand the things you don't see about yourself. And even if it's not given so graciously, often you'll find there's a kernel of truth in there amongst sometimes the tough surrounds of the way it's given. There's a kernel of truth that will help you become more aware of yourself. So reading more, reflection, feedback, they are ways to boost self-awareness in yourself, because self-awareness is a superpower. Self-awareness is relational gold, it's operational gold, and will help you in your life and leadership. I'd love to say a lot more about self-awareness, but I'm aware I could talk for too long on this. So hopefully it helps. Love, as I said before, your feedback. You can do that on LinkedIn, Facebook, on my own website, timhanna.com.au, and I'd love your feedback and let me know what you think and if it's helpful or not. So thanks for that. So in the meantime, till next time, stay well, take care, and be hopeful.